Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 380 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm glad to be with you, whether you're working out, having coffee, driving to the grocery store, whatever you're doing. Thanks for bringing me along. I'm happy about it. Okay. Do you ever find yourself thinking, I should have made a different decision, or it would have been so much better if I'd have chosen to do this instead of what I did? Or maybe being torn between two decisions to the point that you're paralyzed? How about beating yourself up for a decision that got you in kind of a mess? There's actually a way to make all of those decisions right. I mean, life seems to be one decision after another, big and small. We're making decisions all day, every day. I mean, grilled chicken salad or steak and veggies for dinner, brown mascara or black, cream sweater or black one, do yoga or do weights. I mean, we make those all day long. And then, of course, we have big decisions too, like buy the new car or stay with my current one, move to a new city or stay where I am. Should I take this new job or should I just stay where I am? We all have our own version of big decisions that we have to make. So how do you go about making sure that your decisions, big or small, are the right ones? Now, a lot of the decisions that I mentioned just a second ago, if you notice, black mascara or brown, yoga or weights, chicken salad or steak salad, all of those have something in common. Either one would be fine. That's the first thing here. Whenever you can, give yourself good options to choose from. So don't say, should I work out or not work out? Your mind's going to choose the easy one every time, left to its own devices. I mean, if you say, should we have pizza or grilled chicken salad? I mean, your mind's going to go pizza every time because you've put it on the table as an option. When you give yourself great options whenever you can, either choice you make is going to be great for you. Whenever possible, don't give yourself the chance to make a bad decision. I mean, this goes beyond eating at home too. So if you're trying to eat healthy and you're going to a party, it really helps to decide ahead of time what you're going to eat. And food decisions are much easier when you're not hungry. Never go to a party hungry, ever. In fact, don't make any decisions hungry. I'm reading a book right now called The Mindful Body by Ellen Langer. And in it, she said that a study showed that judges make favorable decisions for a defendant, that those favorable decisions went from 65% to 0 right before lunch when they were hungry. So they were making non-favorable decisions because they were hungry and they wanted to get to lunch. I mean, literally, the study said 65% to 0 right before lunch, and then right back up to 65% favorable after lunch when they weren't hungry. That's scary. The lesson there, though, for all of us, don't make decisions hungry. And pray if you're ever in front of a judge, it's right after they've eaten. Seriously. Okay, so when possible, give yourself only good options to choose from, and note to self, your decision-making abilities go way down when you're hungry. Now, what about when you've made a decision, but you aren't sure that you made the right one? While we were renovating our kitchen recently, we had so many decisions to make, which comes naturally to me because that's what I've done for the last 16 years as an interior designer. So we have a sitting area right off our kitchen that has floor-to-ceiling windows. And it is just heavenly. I searched and searched for the perfect chaise or sofa for this area more than 6 months while we were under construction. Now, I finally decided on one-of-a-kind kind of contemporary lounge piece. It had a low back, so it wasn't going to be super comfortable to sit on, but it was going to look really, really good. And it would be a place to sit during parties, and that's kind of what I really wanted it for. So I ordered it along with another piece, and I couldn't wait for it to get there. And on the day that it was being delivered, the delivery guys pulled out the first piece, the other piece that I had ordered, and they placed it where they wanted it. And then they just kind of looked at me and I was like, what? Where's the other piece? And they were like, well, it's not on our truck. And I said, I was told yesterday that it was on the truck. And so we went back and forth. And long story short, it never showed up that day or any day No day after that. And they couldn't find it at all. And it was on back order with no day in sight of coming back into stock. So what was I going to do? I was so bummed because I had just built that room around that piece. But I also knew in my heart that things are always working out in my favor, so I reluctantly went back to the drawing board. Now, everything at that time, because it was around COVID, was a year or two out, so I knew it was going to be a challenge to find exactly what I wanted, and it be here for when our renovation was complete in a couple of months. And look, I could have made the decision to wait until the other piece came back in stock, but who knows when that would be. But I didn't. I made a different decision to go back to the drawing board. So we're at furniture market, and I saw this sofa, and it was lovely. It was contemporary, but didn't have that one-of-a-kind, unique look I wanted, but it was in stock, and I could have it in 6 weeks, and I did love it. So I made the decision to go for it, and I never looked back. Now, the reason I tell you this is I made the decision knowing I was going to love it for so many reasons that I wasn't even aware of yet. And fast forward to today, we have used that sofa for naps. My husband sits on it comfortably for his coffee. People sit on it comfortably at parties. My big sister was even sitting on it with her feet lounged up, comfortably watching the deer eat leaves off the trees right outside our windows. None of which would have happened had my original one-of-a-kind bench with the uncomfortable low back piece been delivered as scheduled. You see, I made the decision not to wait on the one-of-a-kind to be back in stock and to go with a much more functional sofa, but still beautiful. And I'm so glad it worked out this way. And I told myself when I was at market that I was going to get behind my decision, and I did. Now, did that make the original decision wrong? No. Because had we gotten the original one in, I would have found all the reasons of why I loved that one too. And there would be so many reasons we don't even know about, but we'll never know because that's simply not how it worked out. I just choose to believe that it worked out in my favor. The opposite of that is to think I always get screwed and things never work out the way I want them to. Honestly, guys, it's that kind of thought that creates that kind of life. Either one of those statements, things are always working out in my favor or I always get screwed. Either one of those are true if you believe it. And the universe will just keep showing you how right you are. So make sure you make the right one. It's crazy. Even your decisions have to do with your mindset. So assuming you made the decision that was best in the moment, well, then doubting it, comparing it, being sad about the other one not showing up, all of those things make you miserable without any reason at all. Whereas finding ways to make the decision you did make the right one and finding all the reasons to love the decision you did make, you make the decision or you make the decision right? You make the right decision or you make the decision right. Making it right means not second guessing, not comparing. I never once went back to the website to see if that original lounge came back in stock. That's how much I got behind my new sofa decision. I don't care about the original one. It wasn't what's supposed to be in my sitting area, and I'm here for it. You have that choice on every decision you make. Second guessing, comparing, or regretting a decision once it's made is not useful. Now, someone hearing this is going to say, well, aren't you just settling? You're basically encouraging settling. But you see, that's just another way for your mind to second guess, compare, and regret the decision you did make. For me and my sofas, who knows if I had made the decision to wait on the original, if I could still be waiting for that. Or I could have it and love it. Or I could have it and wish I had one that was more comfortable. We don't know what we don't know. So why make ourselves miserable in the meantime? If you truly don't think you'll be able to get behind a decision, then it is your job not to make it. If I didn't think I could get behind my new sofa, I wouldn't have chosen it. I don't view that as settling. I view that as pretty smart. Finally, if a decision does end you up in a mess, we have those every once in a while, right? You can still make it right by growing from it. We've all had this happen, and it'll probably happen again. But if you grow from a bad decision, you're making that decision right because you learned from it. You've grown from it. And you have no idea how valuable that will be to you in the future. Repeating a bad decision over and over shows you haven't grown from it. And side note, repeating a bad decision That's not a mistake. It's a choice. One that you knew ahead of time wouldn't be good because you've already lived it once. So you can even make bad decisions right by growing from them and not repeating them. You're not always going to make the right decision, but you can always make the decision right. My challenge for you today is to look at the decisions you make daily and make sure when you can to only give yourself good options to choose from. So chicken salad or steak salad, yoga or weights, that kind of thing. And never make big decisions when you're hungry. And if you do make a decision that ends up in a mess, grow from it. See, every decision holds value if you look for it. So either make the right decision out of the gate or make the decision right. Share this with 3 people who have to make decisions daily. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.